In today's video, I'm going to be giving you some pointers on how to navigate the void of transition. Now, what type of transition is this? It's not the transition between life and death. It's not the transition to become male to female. That might be for a different video. It's a transition from old to new, I guess you could say. Let me break it down though. First off, let's start with the certain nightmare. If you want to evolve, or you want to change your life, or you want to do anything, it's going to come from a place of dissatisfaction, right? For example, you might not have a lot going for you. You might not be proud of who you are. Maybe you be spending a lot of time on the video game or something. Maybe you've been gooning. Maybe you've been stuck in a cycle of gooning, and shit, man, life was peak, but something inside you is telling you there's got to be more to this life shit. And you start fantasizing about who you want to become, right? Maybe you want to ascend like Dio. Look at all these back muscles on this motherfucker, right? Are these all canonical to reality? Who knows? But Dio's got aura, and maybe you want to become like Dio a little bit. But to get from point A to point B, you might find yourself in a bit of a void, a bit of a transitional liminal state where maybe there's a lot of emptiness, maybe there's a lot of doubt, a lot of uncertainty, a lack of clarity. And that's what we're going to be breaking down and learning how to navigate in today's video. We're going to start off with the death of the old self. What used to make this dude happy and comfortable is not hitting no more. But you may notice old habits die hard. So the things you enjoyed whisper and beg you to go back just one more time. Your nervous system tries to cope by repeating the actions that once satisfied you, once made you, you. You give it a chance and you go back. And then you remember why you did what you did to begin with. You feel at peace, you feel at home. These habits are psychologically hardwired into you, especially if maybe during your developmental stages is when you incorporated these habits to cope with whatever issues you were going through at the time, right? The more you dip back into that pool, the comfort and the illusion starts fading a lot quicker than you remember. Once you dip back into that pool, you keep trying to maintain this emotional mirage, but the quicker that fleeting emotion disappears, it's only going to leave you with emptiness and regret. Except this time, you're left with one less option you can reliably go to, aka your most safe option you assumed, right? It used to work so well in the past, so why isn't it working anymore? The reason is because deep down inside, that thing yearning for more has awakened. And that motherfucker is not going back to sleep. This cycle may last a lot longer for some people. It can also build up tolerance, so you need more of whatever you were doing to get back to that baseline. But essentially, it's not sustainable. You said you wanted to better yourself, but now you wish you could go back to the version of you that was satisfied with your vices. If only you could forget your vision. If only the distraction still did the trick. You wish you could put that voice inside you back to sleep. How many blunts do you have to smoke to silence that voice? You can ignore it for extended periods of time, but it's just gonna fester more and more. And if you don't feed it and nurture it, it could turn into something ugly and manifest in ways you can't even predict. At this point, you know too much. The knowledge of your true purpose is coming more into light. and it's not an easy burden to bear. It's going to be a cocktail of uncomfortable feelings that don't seem to stop swirling in your head. You question if you will have to resist this bestial urge every single day. If you're somebody who experiences emotions a lot deeper than the average person, this can be so miserable to go through. These emotions aren't super potent either. It's not like a stab that you have to take. They're more uncomfortable than painful. And depending on the person, that could be a lot harder to deal with. The worst part is the only person to blame here is you. You used to love something, and you're watching it wither away in front of you, your very eyes. And you're the one to blame for putting it to death. You must burn it all down for the real estate to build anew. You don't do these vices arbitrarily, without purpose most of the time. You do these vices because a part of you has a love for it. Whether that part of you is valid is up to interpretation, but these vices fill a need. I relate the cycle a lot to the Easter egg of Mob of the Dead. If y'all have played it and done the Easter egg, you might know what I mean a little bit, but if not, essentially there's these 4 mobsters stuck in Alcatraz prison, and their goal is to escape, but at the end, they turn on one of the prisoners that's responsible for freeing all of them, essentially. And if you allow this to happen, how it always happens, the cycle keeps on continuing, and they're stuck in this hellish type of purgatory. But the way you break out of the cycle is if the character Weasel that they betray, if he betrays them and I guess gets his revenge in some type of way, I don't remember it fully, but you break the cycle and I think they're free or something. The cyclical nature of this trap with your vices, where you keep on relying on to be your liberation, but they kind of enmesh you into this prison of your own making time and time again. The only way to really escape is to reverse the loop and willingly let go of these vices and kind of brave the storm on your own volition. That brings us to sacrifice. This is the price you have to pay to advance, right? I view this as a physical journey. You can't go that far carrying a lot of weight, so you're gonna have to leave some things behind. In this stage, you've made the sacrifices, and now you're kind of going into the unknown. You feel lost. You don't know if you're moving forward, backward, up, or down. There's no guarantee that what you burned was enough or the right things to even get rid of. The process of growing will scramble your conviction if you're not used to holding on to it as tight as you should. Once you realize that the vices aren't going to give you the results you want, you have to go through the pain of sacrificing them. As stated, this is how you break the cycle. You have 2 choices after you decide to embark on this. You can continue returning to the vices that quelled your emotions for a while, but all that's gonna do is perpetuate your cycle and keep it spinning. Or you can ignore those emotions and dive into the projects you know you should be working on. But it's a trick question because it's not really up to you. Once the process starts, you're powerless to stop it. It's a bit of an ego death. You can keep trying to delay it, trying all sorts of things to distract yourself from it, but once you see it, its gravity starts affecting you. Every day you're gonna have to make a choice. You either try and keep going back, or you take that step forward despite the discomfort. I see this part of the process as a snake shedding its skin. Once you realize what's happening, you're kind of powerless to stop it. You can't crawl back into the old skin and pretend everything's fine. Even if you tried, it's not gonna fit you the same. The scariest part about stepping forward is because this dream that you're working for, whatever caused this in the first place, whatever life you saw that could be better than the one you're living right now, is uncertain. It's ethereal. It's only in your mind. A lot of people get tied up to certainty. They fear risk, they fear failure, whatever it might be. So even if they're living in a nightmare, at least it's a certain nightmare. It's there. It's physical. The uncertain dream might never manifest. The thing is, oftentimes things get worse before they get better. Now that you've done it and sacrificed a piece of your soul in hopes of a better return on your investment, you look around and things are exactly the same. When you look around your bedroom, when you look around your environment, your people, whatever it may be, nothing's gonna change immediately. You start to doubt if what you just did to yourself will net you anything at all. You didn't sacrifice anything that didn't mean jack shit to you. Usually you gotta carve out a piece of yourself that is deeply ingrained into your being. In the Avengers movies and all that, Thanos gets the Soul Stone right after sacrificing his most beloved daughter, Gamora. But you just sacrificed you love something a lot too, and you get absolutely nothing immediately. You gotta sit in the pool of your own blood after mutilating yourself with nothing to show for it. You know, for the purpose of storytelling, things gotta come quick in these films, but life isn't as efficient as the stories we see on film, right? And that's part of the beauty, I guess you could say, of such sacrifices, is they only really matter if they hurt. These processes are so unique to everybody, and a common trap people fall into is looking at others and telling themselves, if they can do this and still find success, why should I stop? And using that as an excuse to continue their vices, continue their patching up their weaknesses with band-aids. The thing is, everybody's path in life is so different. There's people who can do the vices that you do, and it doesn't matter much to them or affect them mentally like it does for you. You will know deep down if it's something you have to stop or not. You can try to rationalize and fool yourself, but logic is only going to hinder you in this situation. If this thing emotionally or spiritually is holding you back, you must let it go. It's crucial that you embrace your discomfort, because the longer you let your broken dream fester inside you, and the more you push it down trying to ignore it, the more it's going to mutate into something negative that will only manifest in the future. Now, this pain is almost guaranteed. You're going to have to cut fat if you want to be lean enough to complete this journey. So how can we make it a little easier on ourselves to embark as lightweight as possible? First, focusing on the positives is key. You have less baggage to now. You have more free hours of the day available, so you must allocate them accordingly. don't feel like you need to replace every single minute of free time with the pursuit, but just work on increasing the amount of time you invest into your journey every single day. If you sacrifice things for this purpose, for this path, you're gonna keep returning to it, no matter how many times you try to distract yourself. If you can't keep going to this, then maybe it's not meant for you. This shouldn't be used as an excuse to keep delaying yourself or keep distracting yourself, but it's gonna be hard for you to keep running away from your true purpose. The more time goes on, the more you're gonna keep coming back to it, and the less the distractions are gonna mean when compared to the path. A helpful state of mind to be in and questions to think about is, who do I have to be to get what I want from the world? And how can I return the love I've received? If on the path you keep asking yourself this, and you keep making decisions based on your answers to these questions, you will achieve your treasure, your dream. This is also a little system that I seen on a podcast, and I gotta really explore this for its validity, but off rip, I think it's pretty accurate. People start off as victims, blaming their circumstance for whatever it is they're going through. Then they start focusing on results that they lack and they want to manifest. And then it morphs into actions and formulating plans and taking steps to achieve these results. But at a certain point, you gotta emotionally align yourself with these actions and conquer these emotions. And at the end of all that, it's gonna be the spiritual side of things. The deeper reason, the soul fulfillment you deeply seek. Because before it, with all of these, they're not gonna fill that hole in the chest. What I assume is that the stages right here that we're talking about, going from a victim to results, and this might be like the first action you gotta take. And to end it off right here, you gotta be patient and realize life is like stocks. This shit just doesn't go up and to the right. It's got its ups and downs, its bull markets and bear markets, if y'all are into that investing shit. There's gonna be a lot of setbacks and distractions pulling you back down. But like I said, once you find your true calling, the true vision that you want for your life, the true life purpose you are meant to embark on, these distractions are going to pull you less and less down until they become irrelevant, and the only thing you really care about is this purpose of life. So as my little roadmap of one of the first stages of evolution and one of the harder stages. So that's my 2 cents on one of the first stages of evolving. And keep in mind, this can repeat over and over in different stages of life and different pursuits, but there's always going to be that doubt, that thinking that life doesn't seem so bad. But once you hear that voice, once you see that vision of a possible future that is superior to your current condition, it's going to be hard to distract yourself from it. I guess depending on the person, it might be a lot easier, but it's important not to be broken down by this void in between. You just kind of gotta weather the storm like it's Fortnite, my boy. Thanks for peeping this yap. I hope you got some valuable information from this video. Shit, peep the shirts.